Hello guys, and welcome back to NtefuniTV. It's a pleasure to have you guys again. Man, what a game we had yesterday. Chelsea hosted City at the Bridge, and it ended an epic 4-4 scoreline. Who would have predicted this? I mean, before the game I was positive, but if you had told me it was going to end in a 4-4 draw, I wouldn't have taken that. Like, this game had everything in it yesterday. It was so great. Like, in the space of 7 days, Chelsea has produced 2 beautiful games, 8 goals scored. Man, do you just know what this means? Like, we used to create chances for fun and then we couldn't take them. And just in the space of 7 days, we've created the chances and we've utilized them. And what even makes me more happier is like we've taken these chances against the bigger teams. And I always stress that I don't have any problem when we play with the big teams that are really willing to come and then play football. Guys, this team is really getting somewhere. Now welcome back to today's video. These are the key major points in yesterday's game. So I'm about to talk about what I learned in the game, the plays that I think stood out yesterday. I feel like everybody stood out yesterday, but you know, there's still got to be some standout performers, and I'm going to talk about them, what I think the team is doing right this time around, and the direction the team is moving in. So if you enjoyed this video, just smash the like button. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe and then turn your post notification on. So I would like to start by giving my general impression about the game yesterday. I felt like it was a really keenly contested game yesterday. Before the game started, I was like, I tweeted, I was like, this is not a season decider, but I don't want this game, I don't want at the end of the game it would be like we never showed up for this game. What I wanted to see from the boys was commitment. I wanted to see some fight. I wanted to see them going toe to toe with all the big teams and then actually showing that we can come up with the big boys when the need arises. And then the guys did exactly that. Like they showed yesterday that we, even though we are not on City's level right now, but they just showed what project we are having going on at the club with yesterday's performance. And then looking back at the performance against Tottenham the other night, it just shows that we really have the tools. Like Pochettino say all the time, we have the tools. We are embarking on the right project, and it's just a matter of time. Just imagine this project is still crawling, and then you can see the signs already. I mean, like yesterday was positive. It was something that I really saw, because like about 2 weeks ago we were 20th for chances converted, and then just moving forward, just like a few weeks down the line, and then we just moved to 3rd with the chances converted. So that tells you now how we are really positive when it comes to taking our chances. We were creating chances yesterday for fun. We were nicking balls off City in their own half, and they were creating chances. And we're not only creating those chances, we took most of those chances yesterday, and that really got me excited. And I'm just thinking about it, like we were taking these chances, and then our attack is not even set. We still have Nkuku to come back after the international break. This was a guy that I felt like everything was planned around him. Our attack this season was actually just around him, and then Jackson. You could see it in preseason, they were linking up so well. Nkuku, Jackson, and then Modric, it was moving so well. And then it was so sad that he couldn't even get to kick a ball for us before the season started because he was injured. And then now he's going to be back in the team after the international break. Do you just know like what this means to us? So I was just thinking like, okay, when teams actually come to the bridge, or when we go to play teams that are willing to play, we're able to create chances, we're able to play. But then when we are playing against the teams like Brentford, when they came to the bridge the other day, that don't want to play football, they just want to sit back in low blocks and then pack the bars, we find it so difficult to break them down. And after watching yesterday's game, I felt so confident. Like, I don't think that would be a major problem for us when Nkuku and then other guys are back, and then we actually have other guys. I just want you to fantasize this here, Chelsea fans here, having Cole Palmer starting from the right or from the 10, and then having Nkuku start from the left hand side. You just imagine what this attack is going to be like when we have teams that sit in low blocks. We will be able to break them down. We will have ideas on what to do. Nkuku can link up, he can take men on, he can create chances in half spaces. Cole Palmer can do same, and Sterling can also be on the right. And like, this will be a major step forward for us to breaking down teams that are so difficult to play when they come to the break to play against us. So like this was one thing I realized yesterday that really made me happy. Like we are taking our chances now, and then we actually look like going forward. We know what we want to do. Our counter pressing game was fantastic. We were pressing so well. Our build up was fluid, and like that just leads me to the goal that Jackson scored. It was a nice build up from the back all the way to Gallagher turning, opening a long pass to Modric, did 2 steps overs, brought the ball back, and then Gallagher was again there to take the fair shot, which was a very decent shot he took. The goalkeeper couldn't hold on to it. He parried it, and then Jackson was there to finish it. Like during the game, we were building up so swiftly. You could just see Sanchez getting the ball, either just rolling it out to Cole Palmer in the middle of the park, and then he was just gliding past men, and then within a matter of seconds we're in City's half. Like everything was so fluid yesterday. James on the other hand was like doing madness yesterday, guys. I mean, this was really positive. Like I learned a lot of stuff from this game yesterday, and it gave me so much joy and so much hope that this is the right project that we are embarking on, and these are the right guys to do that. And then now moving on to the next thing, I would like to talk about the players. Like I would like to talk about 4 players, and I will start on from Reece James. Reece James was, man, it didn't look like he was that kind of guy that got injured and just came back. I know everybody was talking about Jeremy Doku before the game. Yes, Doku had 4 assists in his previous game leading up to this game, and it was like even though I was a bit nervous myself, because I was like, if James was fully fit, that's a different topic. But for James coming back to full fitness and then just having to face Doku, I was like, this might go anyway. But then James just showed why he is one of the best, if not the best, right back in the world when he's fit. Like he just had Doku in his pocket the whole game. It got to a time Doku just started diving mad. He was diving like prime Ebendida from Brazil. Shout out to Stigash, you know what I'm talking about. Doku started diving like prime Ebendida from Brazil, guys. Like the game started, and like the first one-on-one, James was on him, when Doku was trying to go in the inside, James was on his feet. When he tried to go on the outside, James was there. I think James was only dribbled past once in the entire time that he was on the field. And then all the take-ons that Doku successfully completed was either against Cole Palmer when he tracked back to defend, or against Disasi. And James was fantastic yesterday. He was one of the reasons why we were able to like build up from behind so swiftly. He was a very good outlet. When we give him the ball, he wasn't looking to lose it. With his chest control, like with his quick feet, everything was just perfect. And he was just bumping forward down that right side. And like when you have James playing and he's fully fit to bump forward, it just tells you the number of chances we are able to create. And I wasn't surprised he was able to like make that run and then capitalize on that mistake from Gvardiol that led to Raheem Sterling's goal, which was our second goal. This shows you what James can offer. And then he was on show yesterday, and I was very pleased that when he was getting to the 65th minute, the coach could afford to rest James and then bring on Malo Gusto. That just shows you the kind of competition that we have now, the kind of depth that we have on our bench right now. And Gusto could have even been like the man of the match, could have won the game for us when he came on, had a very good opportunity to score, and then he missed it. That shows you the kind of players that we now have that can come out from the bench to actually change the game. He was so good yesterday, and like James was so good. I just pray, and I'm actually happy he was when Pochettino was asked, Pochettino was like, who? James? James didn't snub the national call-up. We decide when we know he's fit and he's ready to go. We make a collective decision to let him go. So I was so happy he wasn't allowed to join the national team this time around, and by the time everybody's back, he'll be fully fit. And I was so pleased with his performance yesterday. Now moving on to the next player that I think was really good yesterday. My God, I feel like this guy has, even though we didn't sign him this season, but he looks like the signing of the season for me so far. We nearly sold this guy to Spurs, and then Conor Gallagher decided to stay and fight for his shirt, and he hasn't put in a foot wrong. Like, he has improved immensely this season. Like his all-round game has been fantastic. Everyone used to know Conor Gallagher for just running around the pitch and then winning balls. That was what he was known for. But yesterday he was fantastic. Going forward, his half turns, his passing into the final third, He was so positive on the ball. Rodri is like one of the best midfielders from last season and this season, scoring the Champions League winner. Like Conor Gallagher was on Rodri from the get-go. Rodri couldn't do anything. He was just on him. It was like a nuisance in Rodri's game yesterday. Anywhere Rodri was looking to go, Conor was on him. He didn't make him enjoy the game at all, and that's what this guy can do. The same way when we played against Arsenal, Conor Gallagher was on Odegaard the whole time, and they couldn't build from the middle because of that. They had to go to the wings, and the same thing happened yesterday. Till the time Rodri scored, like Conor was just all over him. And one thing that even amazes me about him is that when he starts, he finishes that way. He doesn't drop. His stamina is out of the roof. Like he's always on top of it from the start, from the get-go to the finish. He was just spot on. He's been like our best player. And I'm just looking back at Jackson's goal. He had that ball and then he could have easily just passed it to the right back, but he made a little dummy 10 and then just opened it like what, a 50-yard switch to Mikhailo Mudryk perfectly on his chest. And then Mudryk had to do his thing and then just brought the ball back. And interestingly, he was the person supporting the game for the return pass, and then he took that shot. That was a ferocious one, and then the goalkeeper couldn't hold it. He just had to parry it for Jackson to finish it up. I mean, this guy, I feel like after the international break, like talks should be advancing for his contract. He should be getting that new contract. He should be staying. He should be making these new guys that we sign, like Romeo Lavia, fight for their shirt. And that's the only way we are going to improve as a team. If you know the next person that's playing your position is just waiting anxiously for his position or his time to impress, when you are giving that shirt, you don't put in like low performances. You always try to give, if not a 10 out of 10, at least 8 every time you get a shirt. And this is how we are going to be competing if we have players that can actually come off the bench and change the game. And I was so happy with him. And then moving on to my man of the match. I think if I was allowed to choose yesterday, it would have been two man of the match yesterday. It would have been Cole Palmer and then Raheem Sterling. Cole Palmer again yesterday. This guy doesn't look like he's 21. He doesn't look like he just came to a new Chelsea team. He is doing everything. He's playing like he's been playing this game for like what, over 10 years now. It got to a point like Rodri just had to just hold him and then pull him to the ground. This guy doesn't look to go back. He doesn't look to give square passes. He doesn't look to go sideways. Anytime you give the ball to him, he's always like, who is ahead of me? How can I pick that killer pass? Who is in a better position? That's what he's all about. When it comes to one-on-one, he is so comfortable. He is so composed on the ball. He doesn't look to lose the ball anytime he has it. He knows when to pick a pass. He knows when to drive for it. There was a moment like he was giving the pass and he made me feel like prime Hazard. He just took the ball and did as if he wanted to go back and took all the City players by surprise. Just did a half turn in a very little space that he had. And then he started driving our City players 1-2, and then he was already in the 18-yard box. And I felt like if he was a big composer and raised his head, he would have been able to ding that ball past the goalkeeper, and that would have been a fantastic goal. But he couldn't keep his composure, and then the goalkeeper forced a save out from that shot. And that just tells you like the kind of player that we've bought. He was all over City, and it got to a time like the City players were having a little discussion, and he was like a nuisance in their presence. Like he went to actually listen to what they were doing, and Hannah was like, "Well, you're not part of us now. Just move away." Guy, like this guy was so fire yesterday. He was doing everything. When he had to move from the right wing to the 10 position when Enzo was substituted, he was on it. And I felt like he had to play 3 different positions yesterday. He started from the right, moved to the 10, and then later on when Caicedo was substituted, he had to drop deeper again to link up play, and he was all over the place. You can just tell he's so intelligent as in how he links up with his teammate, how he finds players in pocket of spaces. And I feel like this, I was so sad when we missed out on Mohamed Kudus, who is a very fantastic player. He's doing his thing for West Ham. But I'm so happy. I didn't know this was what we're getting from Cole Palmer. And like, if you give me that opportunity again, I will pick Cole Palmer again. He's creative. He's so composed. Just to think about it, people will be like, oh, he only scores penalties. Yes, he scores pressure penalties. He doesn't score cheap penalties. When you look at his first penalty against Burnley, it was when we needed the lead. He stood up. He put it away. He was even fighting with Sterling to take that, but that tells you how confident this kid is. Against Arsenal, it was a pressure penalty. He had to do it. That was the first goal, and he stepped out and he did it. Against Manchester City, his boyhood club, and I was like, he's been playing with Ederson, and Ederson will have an idea where he's going to go. But this guy wasn't phased. Like, he just kept the ball there and kept his cool. He kept his composure. He was just thinking about where to put that ball. And then when the whistle was blasted, like he just put it there so calmly. And I feel like this is the things that I'm looking out for. Like he's not looking to run away from responsibilities. When it actually gets tough, you see him, he steps up. And guy, this guy is the real deal. Like we are going to have like one of the best talent from England for the next 10 years. And that's what the project is about. That's what the project is about. He's going to become the face of it anytime soon. Like he's going to become the face of the project. And then my God, just think about how we are going to be so complete when we have this guy in his mid-20s. When Palmer is like 24, 25, getting to 26, he's going to be a different monster. He's going to be a completely different player. And guy, how can I finish this video without talking about Sterling? You know, in one of my previous videos, I was like, Sterling is like Chelsea. You don't know what you are getting from him. One moment he's very warm, the other moment Sterling is cold. He actually, like, when he's ready to step up, he's unplayable. The way Sterling played yesterday, when he keeps playing like that, on any day, he'll be one of the best wingers in the world. Like, he was on it from the get-go. Kyle Walker is one of the best right backs in the country. And it was just like, he was running past Kyle Walker for fun, not only for pace, but for trickery. When he had the ball glued to his feet, Kyle Walker didn't know what to do. He was turning him outside, inside out, driving at him, getting to the 18-yard box, taking shots. I wasn't surprised he got that goal. He was on the end of it. That was what he was doing yesterday. And when he was brought onto the right side again, it was the same thing. Like he was actually holding players, shielding the ball and linking up play. And I was like, this is a Sterling all Chelsea fans thought we were getting when we bought him from Manchester City. I feel like we were being a little bit harsh the way we judge Sterling, Koulibaly, and all those players that we signed when we had that takeover. It's like there was a lot of things going on in the club, and then most of these players didn't really get going. But then Sterling actually showed. He's actually showing this season that he's that guy for us. Like he's been one of our most consistent forward players. When you look at his numbers and you look at the kind of performances he gives, even though sometimes he can be like really cold. You can see him not tracking back in some games, but like when Sterling is on it, he gives you a 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 performances. And yesterday was one of it. He was arguably the best player on the field alongside Cole Palmer. He was looking to do everything. Anytime we had the ball, we were so confident to give it to him because we knew he was on it and he wouldn't lose the ball. He was just doing everything. Like Kyle Walker was just standing left, right, center. Like anytime Sterling had the ball, he didn't know which side to go. And like this is the kind of Sterling that I want. And I was just thinking, like, is this Sterling form going to really frustrate Mikhailo Mudryk? Because like Mudryk will be on the bench and be like, whoa, the way this guy is playing, I need to do some work to be able to end that position again. And that's what I want. That's a healthy competition. If Lukaku is back, Sterling is fit, Mudryk is 100% fit, and then we know Sterling is going to play this way. Anytime Mikhailo Mudryk is getting the chance to play, he's not going to mess around. He's going to be on it because he knows if I don't put in 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, then Sterling is on my shoulders. He's looking to also get that position. And this is how we are going to challenge. We can say the same way about Malo Gusto for Reece James. Anytime Reece James has been substituted since he came back, Malo Gusto hasn't shown that we are lacking in that position. And I'm just thinking, after the game yesterday, Ben Chilwell tweeted about how he missed playing and then all that. And I was like, this is what we're talking about. Cucurella has been on it since Ben Chilwell got injured and he got that position. But I know that when Chilwell is fit, he's one of the most hard-working defenders that we have in the team. And if he's fit, he's going to push Cucurella for that position. And that's just going to make us better all around. It looks like in every position now, we've got players that are ready to show up, that are ready to give us the same kind of performances that the first team players are giving. The levels are almost the same. And this is what I'm talking about. Chelsea yesterday just showed me that this is the right project. And I want to end this video by talking about Pochettino. Everything he did yesterday was spot on. From his selection, from his substitutions, every player that he brought on the field had a role to play. And then you could see it. Jackson's goal was the making of Conor Gallagher and then Mudryk on that left-hand side, even though he didn't do much when he came on. But to take that ball on his chest, down, and that confidence, for that steps over, bring it back onto Conor Gallagher to take that shot, that was some confident stuff out there. And I felt like we didn't sit. Pochettino didn't look to sit back and give that respect to City. He went toe-to-toe with them. And I feel like he couldn't have done that if he didn't have belief and trust in the project and in the guys. I felt like he fully trusted the guys, and then he was like, you can do this. Go toe to toe with them. You can face them. And that was what we did all game. I couldn't believe like we were building up from the back with ease. Most part of the games, like we will start the build up from the back, and we were so good, and we will evade City's pressure, and then we're attacking. Guys, I'm so happy, and I feel like this is the right project. This is the right thing we are doing, and I just can't wait for this international break. And I pray, and I really pray that none of our players that are going to play for their national teams are going to get injured. I just pray they all come back fully fit, and when we take on Newcastle, I have all the confidence that our season is going to kickstart from now, and this is how we move forward from here on. And guys, if you guys feel like we did so well yesterday, let me know in the comment section. Who were your best players yesterday? What do you guys think about the form of Conor Gallagher? What do you guys think about the signing of Cole Palmer? Let me know in the comment section below, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and then please share the video. And until I come your way again, it's always come on you Chelsea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see.